hour-long webinar. It's $649 to attend this webinar that you're attending, maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours. Ours are free. And so we want to reach out. We want to get to know you. We want to come to your community. And we have the knowledge and skill base, and we're very mobile, and we can execute these very quickly and turn them around.
Yep.
Dosha. My name is Yvette Fielder, and I'm a program director here at the National Center. And today we have
Kyia
Jackson,
Business Development Specialist Extraordinaire.
Absolutely. So we're going to talk a little bit about the Native Edge Institutes and why we have the Native Edge Institutes. So over the last 7 years, we've been implementing the Native Edge Institutes all over the country in the United States in different communities. And some of the core things that we do at the Native Edge Institutes are we talk about high-level, broad overview of government contracting, procurement, leadership, access to capital, our programs, our export program, and our Apex Accelerator program. So tell me, you're new on the Native Edge team. You were with our export program, and you're just growing by leaps and bounds. But tell me what you think about the Native Edge Institutes.
I love the Native Edge Institutes. It's just really amazing that we gather all these resources. And I know you went over all the different topics that we like to focus on, but that is really quite a broad range to fit in one day of training. And the Native Edge does it. It's all over the U.S. It's not just pinpoint to one region or one state. And so everyone gets a taste of it. Today, I'm working on some of the handouts that we give out to our participants. We have the agenda, and then we have speaker bios and headshots. And it's really a whole team effort to utilize it, because Yvette showed me this cool well, I utilized it before, Canva. Love it. But bounce back and forth between our comms team and Carla, and then back to Yvette and me, just to kind of put these items together. And it didn't know it took that much. So learning a lot.
Little fun nuances that we're learning here. Yes. So our next Native Edge Institute will be in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and we're going to be visiting our friends. The Porch Creek tribe owns the Bethlehem Wind Creek Casino, Hotel, and Resort. And although they are from Alabama, they have ventured into other places around the world and in the United States. So we are going to be in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. While we're there, we're going to be visiting different locations. We're going to see where the first boarding school was, the Carlisle boarding school in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, and as well as stop in and visit one of our Apex Accelerator clients, and she's invited us to her home. We're going to interview her there. So the Native Edge Institutes are one-day workshop trainings, and they're live streamed, so you can log in and you can participate via webinar. And then afterward, we do a recap video, which are really cool, and those are the interviews of the people that we've met while we were there, the property so that you can see it, the various speakers. And we learn so much when we're on site, and we always rely on our resource partners to participate, whether it's SBA, MBDA, which stands for the Minority Business Development Agency, or the Small Business Administration, and under their umbrella, the Small Business Development Centers, the Women's Business Centers, SCORE. So they've all participated in our Native Edge Institutes, providing technical assistance and training because they are in your community. So they are great partners of the National Center that we've worked with for many years in whole. And when someone calls us, we know that a big question we always get is access to capital. Yeah. And so I always refer folks over to our Native CDFI friends, different organizations under that umbrella, as well as the SBDC centers, because they have a lot of information on access to capital. You have to write your business plan, because think of that as your application for access to capital, because they have to know who they're going to lend their money to, right? So you do have to have your business plan in place. But Kai and I will send you a business plan template. We can walk you through some of those steps. and have great resources in our referral network that we have through our resource partners. And so also, what do we find at the Native Edge Institutes?
I know you listed a lot of our resource partners when it comes to business development, but some other ones that can get honorary mention, like USDA, we do a lot with them. And we bring on some of our clients to explain their business journey, whether it's through like leadership. We bring on some of our cybersecurity clients to talk about cybersecurity or talk about just their journey from start to current of their business. And so it's all relevant and it's all very useful information for anyone attending.
Especially when there's new rules and regulations and certain requirements that a small business needs to have when you're going to open your doors and procure goods and services, and especially with the federal government or even state, city, county, municipalities where they have works, whether it's road work or anything really in their communities. There are certain certifications that will benefit you. If you're minority owned, you could have the disadvantaged certification. I know in Arizona, it's through the Arizona Department of Transportation, their DBE certification, which stands for Disadvantaged Business Enterprise. And what those certifications do for you as a small business owner is it's the even playing field now. So now you're not competing maybe against 100 people or 200 people. Now you're competing against those that may have the same certification if that particular agency, let's say it's city, municipality that has a road project. I'll just say that. And let's say they're utilizing the DBE certification or a woman-owned certification or along that line, right? And so now it's a competitive advantage. And so now I'm competing against, more of a handful of people rather than hundreds and the masses.
The pool is a lot smaller.
Yeah. So it's narrowing it down. And so I can be more competitive in my bid process and how I compete. And so that's why the certifications are so important to obtain those certifications. And there's a number of certifications.
And we go through all that during the NEI, right?
Yes. John Shiraka goes through it, woman-owned. The 8A program, which is the formal federal disadvantaged program, the hub zone, historically underutilized business zone. If your business is located in that hub zone, there's certain set-aside programs. And they say, it's a 3% set-aside or a 5% set-aside. Well, that's really important when there's billions of dollars on the table because that means a lot of money and that means jobs. And so it's always about job creation and creating your business and growing that capacity, as well as then how it filters out into the local communities.
With the NEIs, I also like that we just not hit on government contracting because you have to be, 2 years into business to start working with your Apex Accelerator to kind of get into government contracting. But for those who are just starting out, we offer topics for them too as well, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So I was just going to say that there is the pre-startup ideas, the startup business. That's when you're ready to go and really get growing in your business. Then the growth period of your business. And then, of course, then the big question of capital and access to capital. As you're growing, you're always going to need additional capital, whether you need to scale up and hire more people. And so now you need more money in your coffers to fulfill those contracts, to execute what the good and services that you're procuring. And so that is always a question that we always get. So we always have the expert speakers come to the Native Edge Institutes in the local area. And I always try to reach out to the local experts because if our audience is local, and so we're going to be in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, I want to gather the city government and those local folks to engage with us. And we think of them all as our partners because they're readily available within your community. And so, it's great to go in person and talk with them. Whereas, our home office. You can find
their information online and shoot them an email. But it's way, for me at least, it's way more easier to kind of see who these people are in person and go introduce myself and then let them know like what I'm trying to accomplish and how I could utilize their resource and how we can get connected. Maybe they're not the correct people, but they can always introduce and lead you to who you need to speak with.
Yeah. So those local communities. And then at the Native Edge Institute, we always have the roundtable discussions. Most often we do. And at the roundtable discussions, it's just such a nice feel because you can meet with the speaker, talk with them one-on-one. And so the fear factor is now gone as a small business owner, especially pre-startup or the pre-process of really getting your business going. Sometimes you're sitting on your hands and you're a little bit afraid to go out and talk. Well, or you don't know who all the resource partners are. And so getting to meet all these people and realizing that they're at your fingertips and they're free resources in person.
Sometimes we give away freebies.
We do.
Those are fun.
We have little drawings every now and then and have some we have had some really good giveaways actually. Sometimes we've had airline tickets. Sometimes we've even had tickets to attend the Reservation Economic Summit. We've done that.
I love how we also work with artisan clients. And so that way we could really showcase what they do as well. And so we get to see one of those artworks.
And the recap video is awesome because Mikaela, what was the name of the gal again? She came out to Portland, and then she came to another Native Edge Institute in Seattle.
Yeah.
And then she was at the Reservation Economic Summit.
Shawntay, the owner of the company is Shawntay Negrete.
Yes.
But she came to our NEI in 2022. That would be her first NEI. And then the next year she would come again, but she would also go to Res. But she would come to another NEI, and that was Seattle. Yeah.
And I think you even have a little clip of her, right?
Yeah, let's roll a clip.
I'm Shawntay Negrete. I own Turtle Island Protection Services. Turtle Island Protection Services is a very inclusive, diversity, and equity-based security company in Salem, Oregon. We take more of a community-based approach to our training and our team. It's important to us to build that culture where people feel comfortable. They need something, they can come to us. It's a whole community. Our team, we don't really refer to employees as employees. We refer to us as our team, our family.
That's so cool. I mean, I remember her coming to Portland, Oregon. We had that Native Edge Institute at the Nike facility. And then she came to Seattle, and then we got to really sit down and talk with her again. And then since then, look at the growth and look at how amazing and how she's scaled up.
When we first interviewed her, she was only about at 20 employees. And then within a month, let's say probably about a year after, she would get a really good contract with a hospital facility. And so then she would have to, within a month, hire more people, and she had to get about 100. So now she's at 100 employees within that time period.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a major success story.
And her company is called Turtle Island Protective Services.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I met her at this past Res. She was so awesome. I love earrings, and so we were both talking about earrings.
Yeah, she had these really cool, I think they were like otter or something. They're really long. They were nice and pretty.
And she was on main stage at Res.
Yeah, she got to go. We got to highlight her, and that's the fun part about the work we do is that we got to celebrate her success, and that's what we want for our people in Indian country, the businesses.
If you're looking for a Native Edge Institute to come into your community, you could reach out to Sky on our team, and we can roll her information, which is just Sky at NCAIED.
It's
E.Sky. Oh, see, there, I messed it
And
up.
Sky is SKYE.
Yeah, and you can also look up the National Center website, ncaied.org, and you can go to our staff directory, and then you can also find her there, and you can email her.
And she can talk to you because I know a lot of communities have done that. Recently, South Sioux City, Ho Chunk Inc., they had reached out to us and had reached out to Sky, and then she connected me with them. And then I just go gangbusters once I know we're going to a location. I'm all over it. Now you're on the team. We reach out to all the speakers.
She's like, bam, bam, bam. Get all the logistics organized and on the way.
Yeah.
And if you guys come, you get free marketing too for your businesses.
Yes, free marketing. And we want to learn about your tribal communities, and we want to learn about all your economic development ventures. What do you need help with? We have the capability on our team to work with you for technical assistance, all the way through government contracting, because our Apex accelerators are very well versed, and that's their expertise, as well as then when you're ready to go export. Kyia was formerly on the export team, and so she's well versed in that arena as well, and knows all the rules and regulations and how you can get your products and goods and services out of the enterprise development and our Native Edge Institutes. We also had a career fair, a first-time career fair last year in Nevada in the tri-state area with Fort Mojave Tribe. And I know I talked about in our last podcast how they had some direct hires as a result of that career fair. So if you're needing workforce development and would like us to build a career fair or a job fair in your community, let us know, because the Native Edge Institutes includes a lot of different capabilities that we can execute.
Yes. My favorite, I know I say everything's my favorite, but
Really have that benefit of
the
participating.
relationships are a lot more personal now.
Oh, yeah. It's just like a solid foundation that we're starting with these Native Edge Institutes. So it's been going on for a few years. Just hook up with Sky and work those logistics out. What else can we add, Mikaela?
That people pay thousands of dollars just to attend sessions like these, and we give it to you for free.
Yeah, you always see those, a workshop about human resources or a workshop about something, and it's an hour-long webinar. It's $649 to attend this webinar that you're attending, maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours. We have the knowledge and skill base, and we're very mobile, and we can execute these very quickly and turn them around. Yep. Kyia's learning how quickly we get on, and we're getting speakers for all these next Native Edge Institutes, lining them all up.
Native or non-Native, you can attend.
Oh, yeah. Yep. We welcome anybody, because you can always partner, do a joint venture, teaming agreement. So we never turn anybody away. And we get that question a lot. A lot of times I'll do an email blast, and then I'll get different people emailing me and wanting to know, like, I'm not minority-owned business, but it sounds really interesting. I particularly want to see this speaker. Can I come? And we always include lunch, too.
Yep. I think one of the easiest things, too, as well, I know we keep talking about, like, relationships, but for people who are non-Native, they want to do work with tribes, and they're like, how do we do it? This is one way to do it, is to introduce yourself to them while you're at events like the Native Edge Institute.
Yeah, reach out. I mean, if there is no road, there's a dirt road, we will pave the road for you.
Shovels.
We will come out and help pave that road.
Yep.
No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, though, I mean, we are there to assist you. That's what we've done for 55 years at the National Center. We have a great team and a lot of support and a lot of friends and a lot of resources across the United States into Canada. So now we're talking about also getting to know a little bit more about importing of goods. So we have a formal export program, but now we're looking into importing, because we do have a lot of delegations that have come to the Reservation Economic Summit. And we even had one come when we were in D.C. A little over a year ago. And the Canadian delegation came down and they participated in the business matchmaking. So we've started to build those relationships. Mikaela and I and Aaron and Sky on our team, we were on a panel last year in Winnipeg, Canada, at the Indigenomics She Conference. And so that was really wonderful. And we were on the main stage and we put together our presentation. And, and then we saw them all come to the Reservation Economic Summit.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but I mean, we saw a lot of our
majority,
friends and they was like high-fiving and like, oh my gosh, you're here, you made it. And they're like, well, you came to see us. And, we want to build those relationships. And that's what it's all about. And so even learning, me going to their sessions at the Indigenomics She Conference, I learned a lot about similar programs that they have in Canada. And so we want to introduce those programs to our clients, one for exporting purposes, but likewise, then we've reached out and different clients on the Canadian border want to come to the United States because they have different products or goods or services that they would like to procure. Tea and all different kinds of products and services,
So
right?
when last summer, Aaron and I had went on a trade mission to 2 countries within Africa. We went to South Africa and Ghana. And so when we were there, a lot of the programs that we were meeting with, chambers and initiatives, they were really talking about two-way trade. And so that was really when the gears started turning in our heads. We're like, oh, well, we're just talking about exporting, which is really, really beneficial for our communities here, but also this two-way trade, bringing in the imports. And so I like how you brought that up.
Yes. Well, we're to be reckoned with. Let me just say that, because Native people, we know how to bring it all together and get it done. We have products, goods, services, and now that, different communities have seen what we can do with the casino industry, which was a huge game player in economic development for tribes to scale up and really start building their infrastructure and really understanding about business development. Even though we were here, I think we're really taking a lot of traction, and we have. And there's been so many success stories.
We can do now.
Yes. And not only that, the political party, and our vote matters. And so we here at the National Center, we're involved in all different things. And Chris and I touched on that in our last podcast. And we have more that we're going to be planning for in the near weeks and months to come. But keep an eye out, because we're out there. And like I said, we're a fierce force to be reckoned with.
We are.
Signing off from the Mesa, Arizona office, Yvette Fielder,
Kyia Jackson, Anaguazis.
Matsagarads.
Bye, y'all.